What's up, guys? Welcome back to Newswave. The Super Nintendo Classic that's just about done. People keep asking me on Twitter and other places, where are you going to be announcing the winners? I'll announce it here on Newswave if it's Monday or Tuesday, since we're coming up on that 63,000, or just on Twitter. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'll announce it there as well, and I'll reach anyone who wins by email. So keep an eye on your emails, because if I don't get a hold of you, I have to move on like the next day or something to someone who will respond. But there's some fun stuff to talk about today, especially, well, Doom came out on the Switch. That's awesome. Let's get started. So Doom came out today on the Nintendo Switch. Super cool to have it portably. If you missed it, I did a video where I did some gameplay and played through some of the beginning parts. I'll leave that up here in the cards. But overall, it impressed me. For what it's on with that Tegra processor, super impressed to see it running off of a mobile SoC. And then a couple other games came out today as well. Need for Speed Payback on all of the systems, including the Xbox One, the PS4, and the PC. And then, of course, the game that should have been on the Switch, Mario Party Top 100, is also out on the 3DS. Strangely, yesterday, out of nowhere, I have no idea what happened here, because just randomly this pops up. You can now use Hulu on your Nintendo Switch. One, it's an odd decision, I think, to go with Hulu first. I don't know if they just had the deals worked out, the app was ready, although we keep hearing that Netflix's app is also ready. According to them, it's locked and loaded, is what they've said themselves. So it's ready to go, but out of nowhere, Hulu pops up. You can download it, you can watch Hulu now on your Nintendo Switch, just randomly. I seriously, I just see it pop up and it's like, oh, here's Hulu. Go watch it on your Nintendo Switch. I have Hulu, and yeah, I checked it out. Overall, the app had some issues crashing at first, but after that, I really didn't have much of any issues, as other people were, and it works well. You can watch Hulu on the portable handheld part, or you can watch it on your TV. And at this point, since it was out of nowhere, I mean, we had no announcement about it, I could see Netflix popping up at any time. I don't know if this was them just kind of starting to open the floodgates, and Hulu was there first, ready to go. But at this point, why not see Netflix next week or today? Who knows? So it's interesting. Now, this isn't the first video streaming app we've seen on the Switch. Last July, well, in July, we saw Nico Nico show up in Japan only, which of course is kind of like their YouTube sort of, except comments will pop up on the screen as you have them set up. But overall, this could lead to everything showing up. You could see YouTube show up, you could see HBO Go. So there's a lot of stuff that could now start popping up, because it seems like Nintendo is now okay with these streaming apps appearing. Maybe they wanted to get a lot of their first-party lineup out the door first, and then they can worry about this stuff. But it's just going to add to more functionality for the Nintendo Switch, so I fully welcome it. Now, yesterday we talked a lot about Call of Duty and how well it had done with their trip back to World War II. It seemed like a lot of people had that itch to play Call of Duty more in line with history, rather than trying to write futuristic history. And it did well, right? 500 million revenue in the first couple days. Great. Well, apparently that wasn't their first choice. In fact, Sledgehammer Games, according to Activision's CEO, when they sat down with Newsweek, they wanted to develop Advanced Warfare 2, which was odd because we saw kind of the backlash and the annoyance from Infinite Warfare. Advanced Warfare 2 probably would have been similar in that it was probably not set as far in the future, but it still would have been more futuristic combat with gadgets and things that are just made up. And it seemed like a lot of people were getting really tired with it. What I think happened here was Activision, because according to them, it was kind of a joint decision to do World War II instead of go, to another 50 years in the future or something, another 100 years in the future. And according to them, it was more a joint decision to go back in time. I do kind of have a feeling Battlefield had something to do with that, because Battlefield 1, while they didn't change it up right then and there, they probably got word that Battlefield was going to do more World War I style. That did pretty well, as most of us saw. Battlefield 1 did well in sales and had good reception. I just think that maybe they already knew what was going to be coming from Treyarch and everything. It was probably going to be more futuristic stuff. And at that point, you just have 3 futuristic games, so why not do something different? In this case, it paid off. I don't think it would have sold as well at all, and we would have had backlash if there was an Advanced Warfare 2, so good for them to come up with a different direction for one of their teams. Next up, let's talk about Intel, and the one thing they aren't really good at, which is their graphics side. Their integrated visuals on their processors aren't very good, their iGPUs, and it looks like they're looking to expand, at this point, into dedicated GPUs, much like what we see from NVIDIA and AMD currently with the GTX line of video cards and the Radeon series cards. And they decided to make an interesting hire. In fact, the hire was so good, it caused NVIDIA shares to drop, and it caused AMD shares to drop. So Intel hired Raja Koduri, who, if you don't know, worked with AMD for a while. He actually has 25 years of experience, mostly in, well, the graphics card market. He really helped head the entirety of the Radeon line for a while, and he also helped in a lot of different things, visual computing space. But the big thing here is he knows what he's doing. And Intel basically went out and got what you could call one of the hottest free agent, I guess, on the market after he left AMD pretty recently. Intel went ahead, snatched him up, and it looks like he's going to be heading their division to make their way into the dedicated GPU market. And this has people very excited because now not only are we going to have a third company enter this what appears to be a very expensive, very kind of cutthroat market if you really look at some of the stuff that AMD and NVIDIA have done to each other with marketing and everything, but having another company in the midst here designing dedicated GPUs is going to be awesome. One, I really want to see what Intel can come up with here. Are they going to attack the budget line? Are they going to attack the high-end line? I feel like Intel would want to attack the high-end line, but I don't know why they would want to leave the budget line out. But if they have someone with this kind of talent and the kind of budget that Intel has and the minds that they have over there, I could see very efficient video cards showing up, right? And who knows? Maybe they take NVIDIA and really push them hard because it's taken a while for AMD to really push NVIDIA at all. And if Intel shows up with some very compelling video cards, I could see NVIDIA start to get really nervous and just throw everything they have at their research team and get some better cards, or maybe prices just fall. It could be good. It's good either way for us because we either get really cool video cards or we get really cheap video cards. Next up, let's talk about Niantic and the world of AR. If you don't know, augmented reality has become kind of popular in the past decade or so, kind of really topping everything off with Pokemon Go. That really set the AR game off and really brought in a ton of money for Niantic and the Pokemon company and even Nintendo. But in this case, Niantic is looking to really further the development into other games, other genres, other territories, and it looks like, well, they're going to attack the Harry Potter brand and bring that into the AR world, which is interesting. They made this announcement on their website yesterday saying, "We're incredibly excited to announce this next step in the evolution of AR mobile entertainment. With Harry Potter Wizards Unite, players that have been dreaming of becoming real-life wizards will finally get the chance to experience J.K. Rowling's Wizarding World. Players will learn spells, explore their real-world neighborhoods and cities to discover and fight legendary beasts, and team up with others to take down powerful enemies. We're thrilled to partner with Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment and WB Games, San Francisco's development team, to bring this magical and beloved series to life in a brand new way. Harry Potter Wizards Unite will leverage the full stack of the Niantic platform, while also providing an opportunity to pioneer all new technology and gameplay mechanics." Now, we have no word on release date or anything. Like, I didn't even see a screenshot at this point. But now we can all kind of wonder, is this going to be like a reskinned Pokemon Go kind of? Or is this really going to be like a whole new game for people to try out? I know there's a ton of people who are massive Harry Potter fans that would probably really enjoy this. In fact, a lot of the people who are Harry Potter fans probably aren't really like Pokemon fans as much. Like, I don't know how much that fandom crosses over. So in Niantic's mind, they can now go partner with WB and possibly really attract a whole nother fandom and get a whole nother group of customers for their really their bottom line with their revenue. So I think they could do a cool job with this. I'm just trying to figure out how they're going to do this without it looking too much like Pokemon Go, right? I don't know. Now I'm really curious to see what they can come up with. I mean, they've partnered with WB, so they're going to have some backing there, probably some input from them as well. And of course, it's going to get picked apart like crazy by the Harry Potter fans. But if it's anything like Pokemon Go and has that craze, well, I think we're going to come to another point where we're going to have to watch out for people walking in the middle of the road with their phones, so this could be interesting. And in our last bit of news, let's talk about Star Wars Battlefront 2, a game that has been under a lot of controversy with their pay-to-win loot crates. You know how we've seen them, and a lot of people are looking at it thinking, wow, you can get some pretty good stuff out of those loot crates that you can put real money in and just get instantly. And then, of course, EA was saying, well, no, we'll scale it back, we'll take this, that, and the other out of there, and it won't be pay-to-win. But a lot of people have, of course, gained early access to it, and, well, it's not painting a very pretty picture for those who are worried about microtransactions and then were maybe relieved by EA statements because, well, I'll just let this speak for themselves. First of all, here's the currency amounts that you'll be buying in. You have a couple here, starting with the cheapest one at $5. That gets you 500 crystals. So there's two different currencies, credits and crystals. Then there's 1,000 crystals for $10, 2,100 for $20, 4,400 for $40, and then 12,000 for $100. That's right. There's a $100 amount that you can buy, which means you could easily spend more money in one shot in crystals than you did on the entire game. And this is where it becomes concerning because for a few things here. I don't think they need to charge a full $60 for this game because I can tell you now, because they will have to tell us eventually, whenever these numbers come out, they're going to tell us how much money they made off the microtransactions, right? I have a strong feeling they're going to make a crazy amount more off of these microtransactions than they do off the initial ticket price to get in. And that is the $60 price tag. I think I think they're doing themselves a serious injustice here by making people pay $60. I think they could get away with a $20 price tag, free DLC and season passes, and you wouldn't have a lot of complaints about microtransactions because it's super cheap and you don't have to pay for DLC. The microtransactions are there to help prop the whole thing up. But now they want $60 and they want you to pay with microtransactions. And it gets a little worse because there was someone on YouTube who decided to buy the $100 package. Now, right now, because it's in early access and everything, people who have it early, there's a 10% discount, so it was $90. But you're going to see what he got with this. This is from a YouTuber by the name of X Factor Gaming. Again, they purchased the largest amount they could and found that, oh, look what we have now. We have a level 14 Interceptor. This is, in fact, what he says in the video. We're absolutely mopping people up. When you're rolling around with a level 14 Interceptor and it takes people 150% more time to lock on because you've already got a blue 3-point card, that's an absolute game changer. Now, if you want to check out the rest of the video, I'll leave it linked in the description for you guys if you're really curious what a level 14 Interceptor does. It looks like there is a problem considering this person decided to just purchase it outright, and now they're rolling into games with this really nice card, really nice vehicle, and just destroying people because, well, they paid a little bit of money in the beginning. I'm really curious what you guys think of this. Does this put you off at all for Battlefront? I still want to play it because I like Star Wars and the Star Wars movie is coming up, so we're all starting to get that yearly Star Wars fever that Disney is now training us to get. But man, is that off-putting. It really is. And it's going to be really annoying and it's going to be frustrating for those who don't want to pay. And you see people all around you maybe that are putting in for even the $40 one. Could get you that, right? Because it's like 100, it's like either 100 to 300 crystals to open different crates. So you can see pretty quickly you can rack up a ton of crates without too much issue. And that's it for Newswave today, guys. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think about any of the stuff we talked about today, whether maybe you're excited because it looks like the Switch is getting their video on-demand services with Hulu. I'm sure Netflix and YouTube and everything else. HBO Go is going to start following, but let me know what you guys think. Were you looking forward to this, or does it just not really bother you because, well, you have it on every other device imaginable, so the Switch you weren't really waiting for? I'm really curious. And then also let me know what you think about this entire Star Wars Battlefront 2 situation. Do you think EA kind of said what they said a little while ago ahead of the sales just to kind of salvage what little good faith they had with the customer base that maybe was hoping that, oh, maybe it's not pay to win anymore. Maybe it's all okay. It doesn't appear to be that case. Now we see the values that they're trying to sell at. By the way, I was at Walmart yesterday, and next to the games, they had cards that would let you just buy in $20 increments to then punch into the game, and you get that much in crystals. So it looks like they're pushing it hard at Walmart just as well as they are in front of you in the game. Thanks, guys, for watching. Have a good weekend. Play some games. Maybe play some Doom or Need for Speed or some. Should be a lot of fun, guys. I will see you on Monday, 8 a.m. as usual.